Good evening, everyone. My name is Mohammad Sheikh. I am the chair, Community Board 1, Immigration Department in Community Board 1, City of New York. And today date is 15th of November 2024, and time is now 6:17. It is my pleasure and honor that we are here today in a time that changed, and we all are excited that recently we voted for our new presidency. Just give a thank to our democratic system that our founder fathers and this country created for us the voting right. And putting on this value and appreciation, we're going to start our today's immigration committee meeting. And DM sir, I would believe if you all of us introduce ourselves from our side and say something about yourself and your vision and concern and your anxiety. So go for it, Madam Argelia.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I am Argelia Ortiz. I am Secretary of the Immigration Committee here and a board member also.
I am Sheikh Ahmed Tijan from the Islamic community. I'm here to attend the meeting, listen, and say the idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Rebecca Robinat. I'm a reporter for the Mountain Herald.
I'm Issa Abubakar. I'm the Vice President of the
Immigration
Immigration Committee. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Anthony Jordan, District Manager to the board. Welcome to the Immigration Committee. Just a reminder that our meeting is being live streamed live on our Bronx Community Board 1 YouTube channel. Please make sure you mute or vibrate all your devices, your phone devices, and speak clearly and concisely so that the system can pick you up. Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you all. I believe it would not be that long meeting, but we have some things that we need to discuss. I would like to recognize Mr. Imam here. The reason is the Imam wants to create a block party tomorrow 9 in the morning until 4 p.m. And he is the one inviting each of you. So, Mr. Imam, this is your floor. Please say whatever you want to invite.
Well, thank you, Brother Muhammad. Yes, tomorrow we have this program, health fair for our community. We invite all of you to come and join us and make it happen. So we invite all these agencies, and also we invite some of the leaders like Sister Vanessa, from Board President, and also Amanda. We invite a lot of people. We expect a lot of guests. We have some food and drink, and it will be all day, Also, anybody want to like test or appetite or diabetes and blood sugar, anything like that. We are also for that help. Thank you so much, Brother Mark.
Thank you, Mr. Imam. I just want to say thank you for your invitation. I believe with our district manager and also whoever can make it, they will be pops ups in your block party meeting, and we all will enjoy like whatever you have over there. Thank you for the invitation.
Yes.
The second thing, we don't have that much of agenda today, but Argelia, I would request you, if you have something on your mind, question, concern in the aftermath of election, how immigration committee make a commitment and contribute the society and our community. So please,
Okay.
it's your floor.
Yes, well, thank you very much. We are in the process. I am in the process. I have been in touch with a variety of immigration committees in our direct district community and neighboring community also. Yesterday, I had a meeting with the staff at the Mexican Coalition over on 151st Street, and hopefully, I am reaching out particularly to immigrant women in our district. There are certain needs that I feel it should be catered to, but that does not mean many of the immigrant women are introducing me to many of the needs that, for example, their sons and their husbands and so forth have, which is interesting because I'm noticing that many of them, even within their families, need these kind of resources that they are not aware of. So I am particularly reaching out to them. I have had several meetings. Uh, this morning, I spoke to someone from the Bronx offenders, and my plan is to try to have a panel forum to make available. We may have some of the attorneys and people who specialize in immigration affairs and resources be able to come here, and maybe we can have an open forum day to make resources available to them. I remember last year we had when the men came here, and the mayor's office was able to come and make a lot of the resources available for them. And also, my main goal is to try to make available social workers directly to them. Of course, with the post election, I don't want to get political here, but there is a new administration nationally. And I have noticed that, especially among our immigrant population, upon speaking to them, there is anxiety, there is stress, and many of them are even fearful, I have noticed. And one of the things that we want to let them know is my main goal is to make a resource available to these people that they can turn to, because the truth is that the system will always be the system. Okay, I am already, but that doesn't mean that there are not things available to them to help them through that. Okay, and I know that there are. So that is my main goal right now. Um, I have been able to connect with, trying to reach already with African immigrant women. Sister Islamia has been in touch with me. We have a good relationship going. I have women within the Hispanic community from the Mexican Coalition, that those are some of the bigger populations in our district, particularly. And then, of course, some of the resources, like I'm trying to particularly bring some of the legal direct resources to them. Okay. One of the parishes was able to bring, for example, a law firm who are able to give free of charge services to them when it is needed and so forth. And those are some of the things that possibly we can bring, especially directly here to our district office. Okay, so that is obviously the goal, and those are some of the connections that I have been making. Even somebody from Lincoln Hospital. I was speaking to somebody from the psychological mental health clinic. One of the psychologists wants to come here and let the immigration population know, because they're noticing that there's a lot of stress, and deal with the anxiety level, particularly among the immigrant populations. And it would be good to, some of them are afraid, and they're like, how am I going to go and speak to a doctor now if I'm undocumented? One lady was saying that to me yesterday, and I had to let her know, you don't have to fear that, because whatever need you have, you shouldn't have to worry about your status in this country. Okay, so they need some people that they could trust and make available to them, people that they can freely talk with and not have to worry about any kind of on that level. So that is my goal, and those are some of the connections that I hope to make, and those are some of the future events, particularly for December. I hope to do that. Yes, we're getting ready for January. Okay, yes, we're getting ready for the new administration nationally. And the reason why I say that is because change has always happened. It will not be something new. I don't think so. But I think on that level, my main goal is to let them know that there are things available to them. I heard a room of the Bronx offenders is trying to open up a 24-hour legal clinic for this population. See what I'm saying? And those are the kind of things that I would like to make available to them. Okay?
Madam Argelia, I just want to thank you for your concern and your idea that you have in your mind, because time change, situation change, year is changing. So right now, before I acknowledge other board members, I want to hear from Honorable District Manager, because he is the one contact point. He senses the anxiety with immigrant probability, minority probability. And we want to hear from Honorable District Manager. Mr. District Manager, this is your floor. Give us some idea, question, concern.
So thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all for all the work that you guys already do. Because before we knew where the country was going to turn in the voting process, and I thank you, Jelia, for your words. You're right. Fortunately or unfortunately, no matter what your political views are, this is part of the American process. We all those who have privilege to opportunity to go and vote and share and be able to responsibly be able to elect our leaders. And sometimes it goes the ways that we all are comfortable with, and sometimes it goes another way. But that's the way that hopefully the good thing about the American process. But the outcomes is something that, unfortunately, too, depending on the administration, is something we all have to live with. And this is why we created this committee way before the election process, because we understood that already the African, the Latino, Southern Latino, the Indian, there is so much of a large immigrant community of Bangladesh, a large community that was here, and that were being not treated as fairly as we should. And so the chair and the leadership of the board had a desire to make sure that we get ahead of the issue and start deciphering goals and plans, no matter who was in office, about how we're going to make sure that people who identify second generation, first generation immigrant, that they have a place to go and to say, I need help. I need help with a resource, whether it is legal assistance. I need help with it, whether it's because there was a need for food insecurity, whether it is issue of public safety, with housing, with education. There's so much happening, so that they need help with ID. We had when we first started, when I came here, we had an issue with our brothers and sisters, African brothers and sisters, who were unfortunately sleeping outside in front of the ID place there, because they were so afraid that they didn't have access to ID, that they would have interactions that were not positive with police and other public safety. So they want to at least be recognized by their name first, a God-given name. And so all that to say is that the community board is now on a heightened alert, working expeditiously with the chairman and with our leaders to make sure, like our Julia talked about, to making sure that we design a plan to make sure that this office is active regularly on an ongoing basis, after hours and very early in the morning, to make sure that we have a place where people can come and get access to resources, whether it is legal assistance, whether it is helping to fill out documents, whether it is to understand what's to come. Because the hard thing, you hear rumors here, you hear rumors there, and you don't know what's going on, and you get afraid. That's how people get discombobulated, and then unfortunately, that's how people get taken advantage of, because you get into that fear of thinking that oh my God, this is going to happen. I need to hire a lawyer. Then you say, oh, I'm a lawyer, and then you go to give them your money you work very hard for, and then this guy disappears or this woman disappears, and you end up, God forbid, even falling deeper, like in depression and in situation. And then we have to find a way to support our religious institutions, our mosque, our synagogues, our other places of worship, because we all need to find a higher power to seek refuge whenever there's not ability to go to see a psychiatrist or see somebody to help you. You have to go to seek a man or woman of God to be able to hopefully get some kind of mental stability that's happening in your hearts. But those already, the mosque and other places are already at very high demand, and they're being busting at the seams and resources. You guys have some of our mosques and some of our synagogues and some of our other places of worship are very small spaces, but more people are coming there to be able to make sure they come to be able to find support and help. And then we want to challenge our higher education institutions when we have our brothers and sisters who are looking to further their education so they can have a better shot at life. They need to be able to go to their colleges and in the community and do this. So I say all of that as chairman is that because under your leadership, we were excited for having the first committee borough-wide, citywide, to help deal with immigration. That people have a sounding board, but then it's not only about coming together and talking; it's about results. And so in the coming days, and you see on the agenda, we're going to be talking about what is the community board doing to bring results to people, to at least who are interested in getting the ball started. Worker authorizations, legal permanent resident, are seeking asylum to help them understand truly to dispel all the rumors so that people are not taken advantage of, that people are not left to their own devices to find out that this is going to be a space that's actively for help. So we heard the cries of the immigration community by, like I said, Koreans committee, but now we hear the cry of what's yet to come on a federal level, and so the community board is ready and able to start being available for service. So we'll have on hand, and I'll talk about it in my time in the agenda, what we're going to have on hand here at the board on an ongoing basis, because the time is sometimes it is, if we want to cry about being Americans and say American this, American that. Well, America is a place of immigrants. It was founded on the back of immigrants. No, there is, and the original people that were here, their land was taken. In my opinion, it's not the board's opinion. Their land was taken, and we just kept more and more people kept coming from different parts of the world. And so I say all of that because we have to do our part as Americans, or those who are interested in being Americans, by helping our brothers and sisters, no matter where they come from, to making sure. And so I, as your district manager, I take that charge very seriously, Chairman. And we're going to be doing with my team and the leadership of the board everything possible that we can do, and challenge our elected officials to ensure that they are standing up to the fight, and that no one gets to go in hiding and running in fear and hiding and despair because of what is yet to come, because that's un-American. And so I thank you for the time to chat and talk about it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. District Manager. My understanding, there is a kinds of spirit that you say. It is a kinds of resource that you want to available for each and everyone. And that goes to our core values. This has the value. We stand for the less fortunate. We stand for the right people who are in really need. It could be health, it could be immigration issues, any other resources they need to get help. And that is why you often call Mr. District Manager, this is the office for the people. So we always open the door and the resource available. We cannot solve all the problem, but we can redirect them where they can get help. And that helps make a significant change in the individual life, in their family life, and overall in our community life. That is the commitment we had got. And that's why our chair, Madam Clarissa, our district manager, and fellow board members who are really interested and seriously working with us. I just want to say, each and everyone, thank you for your support. We are here. We're going to help as much as we can with our limited ability. Thank you again, Mr. Jordan. I want to recognize Brother Abu Bakr Isa. This is your floor. You have any concern, questions, please go for it now.
So I would like to thank you guys for being here. I don't want to call each of you guys by your title, but I mean just say hi to everyone, and thank you for being here, and thank you for your service. The community really need it. I think all the points that I want to touch, I think people kind of already aware of it, and they touch them. However, I just want to put some emphasis on something. As we may know, New York is one of the century states.
Century state, yeah.
Whether they still have the title or not, that's what most immigrants believe in. Which means with the new election, we have also to expect that a lot of immigrants will leave some southern states to come over here. So let's put that in perspective and be ready. The next thing that I would like to say, yes, these days everybody get their information majority with the social media. With social media is not a news, but is how they call it? It's a talking point.
Yeah.
That's how information got destroyed and the thing. So those are real. The fear in the immigrant community is already there. When people fear, definitely some of them that are working now, even though if some of them have their working permit, they can start to scale back. They can try to go underground. Because already in the system, They can catch you anywhere, even in your workplace. They don't believe on the due process. I think it will be wise for our community board to take the lead on that one. That is the reality is there. From now on, people already, everybody's going to try to see how to go under the ground. When they're under the ground, usually some people take advantage of them. I don't think so. If the country want to be a country of that type of things going on, let people know. Yes, the administration may go forward with their decision or their plan. However, there is a due process. That doesn't mean you have to go underground. That doesn't mean when you're sick you can now go to the hospital. That doesn't mean that you can now go worship. As of now, I don't know the church, I don't know the synagogue and the other religious facilities, but the mosque that I'm aware of, I know that they won't trust that when they come to mosque, they won't be arrested or at least confronted with the immigration system. So it's up to the leaders, starting with the community more, where I can say something to take it seriously. Don't let the social media take the narrative of what's going on, but be on top of it. I think usually that's where our leader from community board to the high level, that's where they lag behind. Once a rumor is spread out, it's difficult to inform people the truth. So kill the misleading information before it goes out. By doing what? Tell what is possible, what is not possible. Put it there. I thank each and every one of you guys. And I'm looking forward to hear some other perspective.
Thank you, Brother Isha. My understanding, what you're saying is, it is a kind of anticipation because January 20th is the new president would be in the office. Right now, it is in process to get in. So anything comes up after that, then we can see how the new immigration policy, the government policy works. We don't know. People has a different opinion. Right now, I believe it is not the right time to anticipate because immigration is a federal issue and it is goes millions of millions like our leaders, if it could be state level, federal level, or senate level, they will actually look for the interest of their people. So we look forward for the positiveness. Of course, two major political party, is my understanding, has their different way to deal with immigration. Hopefully, we will get the positive things from the government, but we don't know yet. But anyway, in local level, with our law enforcement, with our elected official, with our community, if we are united, we can make a difference in our committee. We can make a difference in our district, on our city council, city or state, and then it goes to work. So we can work together. All we need to work together. Don't listen to the fabricated news or negative news. But my understanding, if you guys have the fabrication of this, like say, the fabrics of the nation is so strong. We still feel we need to do something better when the humanitarian crisis. We need to do something better than the whole health crisis. So we have a lot of issue. As an American, we stand for it with our values. So don't lose the hope. That's all I can say for my own point of view. Anyway, the other thing I would say, Rebecca, if you have some comments and concerns, I would give you the floor for
I
as
have a
well.
few questions that I wanted to ask them.
You can get anybody else or
Oh, just anybody.
yeah.
Yeah. So first, how do you plan to combat misinformation or educate immigrants on their rights? Yeah, anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one of the things that mostly because my main concern, District Manager Anthony Jordan, you said something very important, the situation of the scams. There are going to be a lot of scams happening to immigrants because of this. But politics will always be politics, okay? And yes, we're going to have a new administration and so forth, but to me, this is not something new. I was born and raised here, and changes have always happened, okay? You mentioned another positive word. This state is a sanctuary coalition. this is a sanctuary state. Um, they're going to be, like they already are, a lot of people from the neighboring states, New Jersey, they come from Connecticut, the states that are coming to New York to get that help. Okay, so it's an issue of making the proper information available and organizing these people to get the proper legal access, okay, that they need on a trustworthy level. How can, for example, the Sanctuary Coalition, that, just giving an example, an organization that will pair that immigrant up with somebody who could mentor them directly on a trustworthy, because if these people don't trust us, they're not going to come to us no matter what the need is. And I know that for you probably know that a lot also from your fellow colleagues, okay? So the main thing is, first of all, we have to get their trust. Second of all, we have to let them know that this is an avenue that they can always come to and get viable information. And third of all, provide the professional personnel. uh, there are social workers that deal exclusively with the immigrant population. Again, like I said, the Bronx offenders, we have attorneys that they can talk to directly. And I try to tell this a lot to even immigrants when I converse with them. If somebody is asking you for money offhand, there's something wrong. Okay? You see what I'm saying? If somebody's telling you, and that's happening a lot. I'm just giving an example of one of the few things that I've noticed. Um, a lady the other day told me about her job, and you're right. She's working off the books. She works at a store. She said the guy pays her off the books. But if she's an employee at that store and he's threatening her now and telling her because of something else that didn't happen, he's going to bring somebody else, they said, no, you have a right to report that. And I'm going to bring you somebody that will take your report. And they don't have to know your name. They don't have to, but they send an investigator there and dealt with that man. And she still has a job. And that, you see what I'm saying? But I know that a lot of people will get tricked. And that is my main concern. I know that there are a lot of scams out there that are already happening and have been happening for a long time. And the new administration is just, in my opinion, that's just the icing on the cake. That cake has already been baked for a long time. And that's how I see that. Okay, Rebecca?
Yes.
Did I answer
Mr.
your
District
question?
Manager wants to respond.
Right.
Okay.
So our vice chair talked about it succinctly about giving ideas, saying social media is a way that our brothers and sisters are either learn factual information or unfortunately learn about myths or untruths. I'll just say that. And so what we want to do is we wanted to use those tools that that this community board has multiple social media outlets that we're sure that a lot of our brothers and sisters follow. If not, we can encourage to our other brothers and sisters to get folks to follow us, where we will be disseminating ways effectively to gather with the myths that are unfortunately out there in the universe, and use it as a platform to be able to ensure that we do fact finding and myth dispelling of information as it relates to folks that are hearing about possible the scamming, and so that we can hopefully put it into it, because it like our vice chair talked about, is detrimental financially, and also can be and very somewhat it can lead people to other safety dangers by not likely being caught. And unfortunately, it has been issues that happen like that, where people have put things out there to get people say, come here for free immigration services. You go there and there's a bunch of ICE agents, unfortunately, that are there to detain and likely start the deportation process. And so I'm saying that not to make everybody afraid and fearful, but to be able to make sure that we are working that, because we are all not lawyers here, and there are lawyers on our board, but we're immigration lawyers. We're working to make sure we bring immigration lawyers who are experienced and long-term experience to be part of informational uh, uh, either conversations or informational documents that will be put on or flyers or whatever we call PDFs that will go out on our social media so that people can, in their language, understand the reality of what to look out for and what steps they need to be taking, working with experts that are in the field in a safe way to be able to hopefully dispel those myths and scamming opportunities, and then also having information regularly here, and also helping to find out new and innovative ways to help to expand out that information to because unfortunately, like our brother said. Our vice chair said that unfortunately people are going underground, and so we have to find out ways to be able to best communicate factual, up to date information. We are concerned, I'll say this, given the facts of where the Congress also is going with, and that's and what the power struggle is in Congress, the Senate, and the House, that a lot of laws will be changed or made harder for people who are coming from the immigration community to be able to follow. So new people will have a harder hill to climb to be able get access to the American dream or status. And so we're working very hard with our legislators also to make sure that continuously live up to the fight of ensuring that how our brothers and sisters currently who have status and anyone else who's coming to try to seek that opportunity has that opportunity just like everybody else has in order to stay here, work, live, fall in love with who they want to fall in love with, and be able to be productive members of society. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah. I have a few more questions. So,
Chair?
Yeah, madam, like with what Mr. DM explained these things, I get two points on my own. One, this center would be a resource center. We don't have like a legal people, but any authentic news, any authentic information, like where they can get help, like NYC ID, where they can get health related issues. This community board is a point of contact that we mentioned. That is here for the resources, and also we will provide some information in our website. We have websites right now. Instagram and other sources of news is here. It's provided by board, and there is some information they can get from them. And those information they can check its genuinity. They can come with the district office and get the information they needed. So that is the understanding that Mr. DM, and I'm totally convinced this is the right way to contribute in our community. Thank you.
so I guess my next question is, have you like been in contact with like the Immigration Affairs Office, like with the mayor, and like has this committee been in contact with them, and like how is like that relationship going on, especially in light of like the administration, presidential administration?
Yeah, remember last year we had the whole mayor's office came here presently, and we had like a whole session of the mayor's office, their people, they involve the translation units and
Yeah.
so forth, that were able to come here and make a variety of sources available to let them know what are the things that are being offered. We already had a day of that. Last year we did that, remember? And we were able to make a lot of information available to the immigration community. Um, just really touching basic needs, okay? Because, like I said, very similar to what our chairperson is saying, what the purpose of this office is to make resources available. Okay, for example, sometimes if a person comes with a certain need, we may be able to give them a direct referral, okay, to let them know, look, right here on in our district, what are the places in our district, in other words, that do make these things available that many people don't even know about. Okay, right here on 151st Street, 152nd Street, there's an organization that will help someone in the because many of them have particular unique situations also that have to be catered to, and that is what the main purpose of our district office is.
And
Okay.
I want to add to that. So to answer your question directly, is that yes, we were in advance before the election, very much in contact with multiple city agencies, but also not only multiple city agencies, but also a lot of our nonprofit organizations that were in play to ensure that we had the up to the moment information as relates to the immigration policies and laws, and what was available through those agencies to ensure that they had uh, um, constant access to asylum seekers, the information to people who were looking for work with authorization procedures, to people who were seeking to become legal permanent residents, to people who are interested in starting their citizenship applications. All our brothers and sisters, as you know, they're in different areas and levels of their of their immigration status. We also wanted to make sure that while if you don't have a status, that you still knew your rights. We were the unfortunate part that I found that some of my brothers and sisters that were here from African countries who didn't speak English had were unfortunately were witnessing a situation where there was a crime that was happening. I think it was a altercation that was happening, and of course the brother did not speak any English, and a police officer gave him an order, and so he didn't understand what the police officer was saying. And unfortunately, he got into an interaction with the police officer that caused him to be fined. But he couldn't follow the police officer's order if he doesn't know the language. And so he's not there. He wants to stay close to where the police are, because if there's people who are fighting or get into altercation, you don't want to go separate to yourself, and you don't know that you can likely also become a victim of that violence. And so it's our job when we brought the Human Rights Commission, not only the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs, and soon I'll be talking about the work that we're going to be doing to bringing CUNY Now citizenship to our office to talk about advantages that folks need to be start going and working on different trajectories of citizenship or asylum or et cetera. We want to make sure that folks understand first their rights now currently. So working with those two agencies and working with the agencies now to start with folks who need to start making sure that their visas are okay. People come here for visas for education, humanitarian visas. Come here because they want to be able to find temporary work. Come here because they need special medical attention that their country is not providing. There's so many reasons why people are here. Sometimes people unfortunately overstay, and so they don't know that they're in this hard place. So we need to make sure that we are taking our role as a board, like our secretary said, and our sergeant at arms, is to make sure that resources are here available. If not, we were pointing people out where they need to go. And so that's yes, to answer your question directly, we have been working as a constant piece of our work is bringing working in partnership with those agencies to and our other organizations like NICA, Bronx Works, some of these organizations that provide other services, because the kids go to have school programs. So if your kid goes to have school program and your mom happens to, or your dad or your family happens to have another problem like immigration or have a problem with it not getting the high school diploma or need help with keeping their apartment from being evicted, it's good to we are working also with those organizations too, because they already have relationships with the families. So it's ways to be able to come into be already welcome into the homes to get other services. With our imam, you know, he has a lot of brothers and sisters who are at his mosque, and they already trust the words that and the leadership and the support that's coming from the mosque, and the rest of the leaderships in the community are so yes, we're using trusted resources to bring about more resources. A long answer to your question, but hopefully I answered it.
All right, thank you. I just want to, you know, I know I'm dealing with the migrant in the past. I know that since you know, you president and also what they hear that they're gonna deport them, they worry too much. Asking me every day, Imam, what do you think? You're gonna go, we're gonna stay. I don't know. I don't know. I say, let me see. I don't know. You have any information about that? They're gonna kick them out from the country, or they're gonna stay?
It's too early to make a comment on these things.
Especially yesterday. think one of the guys said that you pack your stuff. If you say pack your luggage, then
May I
ready.
answer your question,
Something
sir?
like that.
January 20th is new president going to come. So before than that, we should not like predict that's going to happen. Just take that like
Say worry too much.
just answer like this way is the better way. Better way because you don't know, he don't know, I don't know, nobody knows. So please be patient and see. Thank you, ma'am, for bringing a very common question.
Okay.
Madam Rebecca, in response to your question, if you allow me, two things. Concrete answer. We keep in touch with the MOA office, Mayor Immigrant Office. There is a designated DAX. And on that designation, deputy director of MOA office was in this office, and she gives some resources to the community board and the community neighborhood. This is one thing. And also, she being one of his attorney, recognized attorney, City of New York, and she gives some legal advice to the community people. So we are keeping touch with them. We are getting help also from them. Other thing, Madam Ortiz also mentioned, we are working with DA office, Bronx Defender office to get legal help. So eventually we will get this one from our non-profits. First and foremost, the other thing that I forget to mention, the some non-profit has a good reputation. One of them, as Mr. District Manager mentioned, CUNY Citizenship Now. It is very renowned, very profound, and everybody knows their work when they need it. So we are keeping touch with them and bring them in the board immigration committee meeting. So their resource will be available for our board members, for our community members, and we can get help. Thank you. That's all I have. We have in our mind. Mr. District,
Any more questions?
That's good for now, yeah.
Okay.
thank you for the opportunity to speak everything A to Z. If you guys don't have, if anybody have any old businesses,
I want to get. I want to. Can I, if I may
Yes.
share, if I talk about that. So for
Yes.
those who don't know about City CUNY now, they're an organization that offers free, high quality, confidential immigration law services to help constituents and their family on who are want to take the path to do U.S. citizenship. They have free attorneys, paralegals that will work to assess the eligibility for legal benefits and help folks to apply if they're qualified for citizenship status. They've been around since 1997. So a little over close to over 20 years, 20 plus years. So they've seen a lot of different administrations and the laws that issues that have not been established and that laws people are having. They work to help people become U.S. citizens, petition for their family members, obtain defer action for childhood arrivals, which is DACA, get temporary protection status for TPS. They to pay a reduced fee or no fee when they apply for some immigration benefits, get their children's U.S. citizenship when they become citizens, because because you become a citizen, not always or at all does your children automatically become citizens. So everything is an individual process, but usually the adult goes first and the children proceed after. Renew, or sometimes at the same time, it depends. Renew or replace lost, damaged, or expired immigration documents. If you already have documents that unfortunately been lost, we know we have had in my tenure and before then a lot of fires that have happened because of in a lot of households, and so people have lost their documents tragically to the fire or to other national or disasters. All the services are free and open to all New Yorkers, whether CUNY students or not, and regardless to their income. So what we are working with this committee to not only have them come to an immigration meeting, but have them come to a meeting separate than the immigration committee, because they usually don't meet on Fridays to do the service. So come during the week to be able to establish that evaluation of everybody's eligibility for citizenship, assist them completing the N-400 application form, which is a form that folks need to start that process. Help requesting a fee waiver, because again, as we know that like you said, some of my brothers and sisters stopped working because out of fear of going to work and being caught up like that. It used to be you don't go to funerals, you don't go to weddings, you don't go to house of worships, and and so on. But we know that unfortunately, historically, the Trump administration has violated those sanctuary or those sacred spaces, and uh, unfortunately, out of a poor power, that's likely what he'll try to do again to show his power in that in this instances of delivering on a campaign promise. But we don't want to speculate, like the chair said, about what will happen with anyone because there are different, there's different reasons. Have you been convicted of a crime? Have you a bunch of other things? There's a other possibilities that everybody's situation is different and individual. They may help make photocopies of supporting documents to be included in the application process. They review and complete application packet by a member of the staff and or a qualified volunteer, which is usually an immigration attorney or paralegal. It is good to find, like I said, the worst time I find people that in this process of being scammed is by people claiming to be a lawyer or to help them with legal documents, and they end up skipping town, sniffing them after taking hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars from a prospective person who's looking to do that. So the chair's request, we're working to be able to get this group here. They did over 250,000 applications historically over the 27 years they've been around. They've done over 8,000 applications and helped with over 3,000, close to 4,000 U.S. citizenship cases, and saved over almost close to $1 million and people who are paying application fees, because that's the biggest part of paying the application fee. We know that people have a desire to get this done and get this done now, so we hope to have this workshop and interaction in the month of December before Christmas holiday. With the chair permission, we'll want to make sure that, like you said, it's hard for them to get it done on a Friday because Fridays is hard for them. But so we want to get people to. Hopefully, the committee will commit to doing something during the week so that it works with their calendar. Usually, not a Monday or a Friday, but a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. That's the 3 weeks and before Christmas holidays. So I leave that to the committee to make a decision so we can get back to the group to settle on a date and time for this interaction. Last time I think we had the meet where we had our brothers here and sisters here. There were over 75 men, young men. These are young men that come here. I think there were 17. Oh wait, the oldest I think it was maybe 28. So they're very young, and they all are want to have a desire to be legalized in some way. So thank you, Chair.
Mr. District, I just want to say thank you so much. I believe, as I promised, it would not be that longer meeting. If anybody had any concern, questions, this is your floor. It's open for everyone. Anybody can ask question, and then bring any old businesses or new businesses.
I just want to ask, do you know how many immigrants enter the U.S.? The people come through the border?
Do I know the number? No.
No?
No.
What about African?
Not sure. But I mean, depending, I need to know the period of time. Like how between what the last 10 years, last 5 years?
Last 2 years.
I'm not sure. I'm sure it's a large amount. I'm not sure. 220,000?
In the past 2 years.
The last 2 years?
Yeah.
220,000.
In New York.
But you know how many African?
No, I don't know.
I'm sure it's a lot.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure it's a lot.
Answer is a lot.
1 year.
Yeah, from what I've read.
Brother Isa, you have anything to add? Anything?
No, so thank you, Chair.
Madam Argelia, do you have anything?
No, that's a good question. I think that's a good question. Maybe in the future we will start to statistically. That might be an interesting research to do. Because I believe that those populations are actually growing, and that's actually, I think, a very good question.
Most of the people register ID.
Excuse me, sir.
If
good enough, and I can ask for a motion to adjourn meeting.
people register.
No, you want to give me a date first? I need a date for the workshop in December.
December, I
Okay.
believe, not a good day
I think
since I'm leaving, but
I'm gonna
you
It
can.
has to
make
be
a
in
note
December.
of that and
What is
see
your
who I
opinion?
can find I might be
can
able to
schedule a
find
date.
somebody who wants
Yes,
to
I need to
research
schedule a date
that.
because
Yeah.
so it has to be
And
December.
I'll
First
get
week or
that
second
to
week
you.
of December.
First week,
First or second week.
Second,
Very good.
I'll not be here. I'll be out
So
from
that's-
7th.
It would be good
So
to
you want to do the
get
first
a
week?
direct
So you want to say
statistic
Tuesday,
of how
Wednesday,
many
Thursday.
people are actually asking for help and how many
What about
people,
5th? 5th is the holiday. I like 5th.
specifically,
Thursday.
if we
Yeah.
could, because that would
They
be
got to
one
vote on
way
it.
of us
Okay.
keeping track of the influx that's coming in,
Yes.
and the ones that are probably, we can make a prediction of how many are about to. So that's interesting what you said. I'll make a note of that. And if I find somebody who is sometimes maybe I bump into interns who are doing a thesis and want to research those numbers and would like to go and ask you for that, because that would be, that's a study all by itself. Okay, no, that's a project, but it's a very good, it would be very interesting to find
Yeah.
that out.
So the chair wants to know. We have to decide, like the chair said, we have to decide on a date for the December immigration workshop.
Yeah, Madam Argelia, one thing I want to mention, as Mr. District Manager mentioned, we are keeping touch with the CUNY citizenship now, and he's working month after month with them. It is difficult to get their timing. So they give us a condition. The condition was we can be there from Monday to Thursday, not Friday.
No,
Okay.
Tuesday to Thursday.
Oh, Tuesday to Thursday. So Tuesday to Thursday, we are thinking, we are cooperating with them, communicating with them,
Yeah.
and we selected the date for December 5th, 6 p.m.
For December 5th?
5th, 6 p.m. Are we all agree with the casual? So
Okay.
for the next immigration meeting, would
This
be
just a workshop, not the meeting.
workshop with the CUNY citizenship now would be December 5th.
We're going to recommend it.
Okay.
We'll see what they say.
Yeah, so that is why I'm asking voting things that say yes or no. You can support that.
December
the day.
5th is a Thursday.
Thursday.
Okay, what time on that Thursday? Would they like
We're gonna. He's recommending 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock p.m.? That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll put
Or
that
we
right
can
in my
bring it at
schedule.
5 o'clock or 5:30. That would be another idea because days are getting shorter.
Yeah.
Let's do it 5.
Okay, whatever, that day is empty. Thank you for bringing it up now. Because if I don't, December gets,
Yeah,
you
shorter.
know how
shorter.
Decembers get, okay?
Yeah.
It's the holiday season, everything else is going on. So I have that day that I will leave.
So
As a
you
matter of fact,
with that?
I'm going to leave that day totally empty.
Yes, sir.
I'm
yes,
not going
ma'am.
to schedule anything on December 5th.
Yeah.
Because that day will be devoted just for this, okay?
Yes.
Sometimes we maybe, if it starts at 5 o'clock, maybe you want me to be here at 4 o'clock to prepare certain things and everything.
5 is
That
good.
whole day,
Yes, sir.
okay, that whole day is going to be empty, and I'm going to mark it,
Mr. Isa,
and it will be devoted
you
to
okay?
this.
Mr. Imam,
Yeah, no problem.
5
Mhm.
December 5th,
Yeah, yeah.
5 p.m. in this board office.
It will be
Are
right
you all
here,
agree with
okay?
that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we were going to reach out to Mr. Chairman. May I? We
Yeah.
reach out to the CUNY now and ask them for that. They do promise to translate in English, Spanish, and French, so that we can make sure that everything is. That's another language you want to recommend.
That will be wonderful.
Is that
I'm
it?
looking
That's good,
forward
that's
to it.
good.
Okay.
Thank you
I'm
for the
looking forward
approval
to it.
of the date and time. I highly appreciate that. This is one thing. Second thing, if we all are at the end, so I am asking for a motion to adjust today's meeting. Adjournment for this today's meeting.
There it is. His motions right there.
Motion to
Make a
adjourn.
motion,
So-
I second it.
And Madam Argelia seconded,
Yes.
Brother Isaac already supported it.
Discussion
So,
of motion.
any discussion on this motion?
All in favor?
All in favor, say
Yes.
aye.
Aye.
So, thank you all for your time, and I just officially adjourn today's meeting. Thank you.